Yeah.
9 o'clock. Slow.
Yep.
Is this slow?
33 seconds.
Are they about ready, Chief?
Yep.
This thing. We got flannel, kind of sweatshirt, you know. Do you want me to turn it on for you?
No, because everybody else.
It will heat up with all that hot air.
Oh, a lot of it.
All in favor, say aye.
No one cares.
No, they're late.
Get them in here.
Are we ready? TikTok ladies. So I just need to call to order. All right, let's get this cookie thing going. All right, let's call the meeting to order. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. We can all rise. I will start us off. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's do a roll call, please.
Miller,
Here.
Craig,
Here.
Frank. Here. Leonard.
Here. Here. Any public comments? Yeah.
First, I want to thank all of you for stepping up and serving. I'm so excited for you guys going forward. I did want to ask a question. I know on the DDA, there were some applications that were accepted from the DDA. They were passing out to the city council, and I did not see them in the packet. Unless I are here, hoping that that was going to be done, I guess. So I was just, I know in your DDA notes, you'll know that they were.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah.
Some.
I was just questioning that.
Adam and other.
Yeah. We'll put them in there.
And then also, I don't know what your procedure is, if you want, let people from the library here, if you'd like us to interact during the agenda thing or now.
We'll do it on the agenda.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, approval of minutes. October 24.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion.
Second.
Okay, second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion is approved. Treasurer's report. Authorize the motion.
1 second.
Joe seconds. Any discussion on it? No discussion or approving of the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That Tim's really quiet.
He's still doing his homework.
All right, authorization to pay the bills.
I'll make the motion to pay the bill.
Second that.
Okay, motion made and second to pay the bills. Any discussion? All right, pay the bills. It is approved. All right, first major order of business. We have an empty seat on the council. Jason Innes is here and was the next vote getter, so we need to make a motion to approve or appoint him to council if he accepts.
I make a motion to appoint him to the vacant seat.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Jason, I'll open up to you, you accept or? Okay. You accept the position, any more discussion on that? All right, so to appoint Jason, we need all in favor to say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Come on up.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and I will faithfully perform the duties of city council member in and for the city of Laingsburg, county of Shiawassee, state of Michigan, according to the best of my ability, until the term ends in 2026.
Welcome, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, next up, electing a mayor pro temp. Basically, this position is you are acting mayor if I am not here accordingly to the guidelines. Need a nomination for somebody to nominate somebody, and then we can vote on that. I don't know if I can nominate anybody, so I will stay quiet.
You can nominate.
Oh, I can. Oh, good Lord, people.
So. Do we know who's interested first, or are we just
Who
now?
would like to not be mayor pro temp?
That's a longer.
I would advise probably not Jason, just because he's newer. Tim has been through this before, so that's a possibility. RJ and Randy have been on the council the longest.
And both you would be willing?
That would be-
I think either of them could.
All right, let's nominate both of them, and then we can vote on who gets it.
I will, can I just nominate one, or we nominate?
Nominate one, that's
All
fine.
right, I will nominate, Randy Craig for mayor pro tem.
Anybody want to nominate anybody else? I was thinking RJ would be good too, but. Up to you. Okay. Let's just move forward with Randy. All in favor with Randy being mayor pro tem? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, he has been appointed mayor pro tem. All right, appointment of board and committee heads. All right, so let's start off with there. All right, so oh, this is up for debate, or if I just tell them this is what you're doing.
Appoint them, yeah. It's all you now.
Okay. So we're just gonna start with RJ going on to the police. And you are gonna be the chair for the finance. Mr. Leonard, I have you on the finance and then the zoning board of appeals. Mr. Craig, you're pro temp, you will do the chair for the police. You are also on the LSW Emergency Services and the Emergency Services Coordinator. Okay, Jason. You are going to go to the DPW and the Planning Commission. Jody, I have you on the library. Edith will do DPW, police and financing, and I will be on the DBW and the DDA. All good.
Will we get a copy of that?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. kind
My
of-
shorthand wasn't very good.
I'll give you all
Thank you.
this thing, I'll show everybody, and then the calendar. That's
So, Kim wants to go over a couple things with the procedures and miscellaneous power of duty for the city council. I will hand it to her for that.
So this is kind of our charter, on just kind of what everybody's positions, you know, like a little cap of what everybody is responsible for. In a little cap, what you do. The council is, each council person is paid $50 for each meeting. And the mayor is paid $100. So if there's a special meeting, you also get paid for that also. Was there any questions on reading over this? If anybody had time to read
The
it?
question I have is that, I mean, it says each person will be paid $2 per meeting, that, I mean, that, is this just like a dated
Oh.
version?
Yep.
I mean, and I knew it wasn't $2, but that,
Right.
I was wondering when this is from, I guess.
Yeah, we have a resolution for that when they changed, every time they changed the amount, we have resolutions. Kind of gives a little bit, of what everybody's job is and what their, but it can go into much more detail if you need more detail, exactly. You know, like what our jobs are, we have detailed lists for that. This is just kind of the charter and the state law. stuff. And then the assessor and then the deputies, which are our department heads are responsible for their deputies. Unless they were fired and there was questions about it, then the council would step in. So unless there's any other questions, I just kind of thought you guys would all like to have this as a something that it's in our charter, it's in our, but this is kind of just what you guys kind of do. So, and in that, it states that, which goes on to the next thing is the rules of procedure. So each new mayor comes in and should do a rules of procedure. And that's kind of how you run your meeting, how you want to run it, you all decide on how you want to run it. You know, and that's what is kind of goes through that paper that I gave you. Rules of, you know, it's a sample, but comes from the MML and it's pretty thorough. On all the questions you could have or all the things you want to have on your procedures for your meetings. And everybody knows what's expected. Any questions about the charter or?
And then, I mean, I can put, I want things to flow together, so you guys can have for the next meeting, but there's certain things I wanna reduce. What was happening before was interrupting each other. Just bouncing ideas, I rather have more organized talking and deliberation that way. Public speaking, I think it's only 3 minutes, so we'll try to adhere to that as much as possible.
That's a good 3 minutes.
So just some ideas that want to see if we can do anything different.
Do you want to, talk about changing the way of the meeting?
Yeah, if possible, this is more of a greedy thing. Moving councils to Tuesday.
First Tuesday of every month.
Yes. I mean, these, if I can think off something Monday night. But it's something you guys have to vote on. I can't force it. And I
You'd
want,
have to agree.
yeah, I wouldn't want to force it on you. If you guys don't want to, then fine, I'll do it. But it's just an option that I wanted.
And that would start when,
Next
December?
one.
And that would also move the finance and the,
That's what I was gonna ask, when the other meetings were. I guess.
Yeah.
So the police and finance and them.
Yeah.
When is the LSW meetings?
they're the
Last,
Thursday of,
Oh, also-
yeah,
Third Wednesday of the month.
Wednesday.
Third Wednesday.
And the library,
What time is it?
6.
I would be back. Person.
yeah, that. I would be fine with that, just want to make sure that my.
Go with it.
I don't have Matthew Tuesday, I probably work better for me,
Okay,
so.
Tim.
Fine.
The other thing that it does, that I talked to them about, Labor Day, Memorial Day, office closed, we'd have to make them come back in and do that. If that was in line of whatever holidays, like today, being Veterans Day.
Right.
This one, though, you can't get out of it's in our charter.
So would we,
Like, if we haven't-
still be able to get a packet on Friday?
Yep, yep, I would keep everything. the same.
Yep.
You
And then-
Actually have an extra day. in the packet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give you an extra day to review everything too, so there's some other questions on that, so if everybody's.
I want to go through the weekend without worrying.
So all in favor of moving it to Tuesdays, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? So we will move them to Tuesdays. Thank you. for everybody.
I just want to same time on you.
Yes, same time,
Yeah.
same place.
And you'll get, I'll get you the schedule like this.
Outdated schedule.
And that will be posted so that,
That's on our
but I mean,
website, yeah.
like, so the community, you'll send out like a text
Yeah,
blast.
oh,
so
yeah,
the community
yeah,
will know.
well, well, the one we put out gets changed every month, so that'll all get changed to what it is, and then this goes on our website, and then I'll give you guys all one of these individually.
Okay, moving on, let's go to the library.
All right. So what you have in your packet is really information to try to catch you up. We didn't want to, be new the council, so I felt like this is the time to try to catch you up on this part of benefits. It started in November of 2020. And there's a timeline in there in your packet. Of what we've done over that time frame. So hopefully you all are able to come over that. There also was some architectural drawings that were done in 2020 that was paid out of the library fund at that point. As you can see, we ended considering it because of the building material at that time were doubling. You remember when the wood product was going up really, and we just felt like we didn't have the right board. I do feel like we have a very strong board now. I feel like we have a lot of dedicated people. I feel like we're in a different position. I do feel like the stars are aligning because we're getting, as you can see, a grant offer from Foot Foundation for $80,000 to make this possible. So, but as you can see in here, there's information about the building. There's information about the architectural and drawings that were designed. It doesn't mean that, we kind of feel like we want to go think about phase one. And phase one is the downstairs of that building. That's where we're at right now in the planning situation. There are some drawings in there of possibly putting apartments up above. That doesn't mean we want to consider that, but they are in your package as a guideline that architects have drawn up. As you can see, the property, I did put the tax information in there, and some people use the FEV as a guide. You can see the bathrooms there. You can see the grant information from the Foot Foundation and what they're requiring for us to go forward. You also will see in your packet some questions that were given to us. And as you can see, we set up a last meeting, a building committee that was investigating the situation in the building. And it comprised of Jody for as liaison with the library, me, myself, Sarah Matson, Sarah Danford, and we have a place for one of the city staff. So they gave us those questions. I know they're not online, but I think they're in your packet of what was asked, and we spent the majority of our time trying to answer those the best we could. So yes, I don't know if you want to ask any questions or what our thoughts are going forward, but I do feel like that we will meet again for the library board and talk about it again, and at some point, we, we'll want to be back on the agenda for next month to discuss this again, because this building, the person that owns it, this is his last piece of property, that's in Laingsburg. And he sold his last one on West Street, and I kind of wondered what was going on, and when we got in there, he had actually done some work in the building from the last time we were there. He started putting bathrooms in, and he did electrical work, and he put his electrical box in. He was planning on getting it ready to list it. So right now it is not listed, and I am interacting with him so that I give him updates as to what's going on, and he knows we're meeting tonight and talking about it. And that there's no decision to be made tonight, but I try to keep him informed, because I don't know how long at one point, someone could go along or whatever, and so that's my only concern, I guess, I'm gonna voice. Anything else you think of that?
I mean, there's a lot of information. I know that you guys probably want to take some time looking at this. I mean, this is a big project. The end result is that the city would take over the building as the library's in it. So you gotta think that compares big picture of what you need to look at. So if you guys want to go through this for the next couple weeks, when is the next library meeting?
Next Monday.
Next Monday?
Yeah.
We haven't set a date for the next building committee. We were kind of trying to see what you guys wanted from us, I guess. Which I'm giving to help with.
Right. I mean, I'd
So we
say,
haven't set another meeting. We were thinking of trying to set it before your next city council meeting.
yeah, I mean, I'd say time. They,
Good.
especially the new ones, need to be looking at that.
And
see
you
what's
told
going
the group to take it over on the building, that means you guys will own it sooner or later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, but you guys need to look at the questions, the answers, come up with your own ideas and thoughts, because like I said, it's a big move. So, I'll make sure it's done the right way.
I've gone through it. Clarification that I was looking for is what exactly would be the financial obligation from the city's standpoint?
So the thought is that we would buy the building and give it back to the city for $1. And in return, you would offer us the same lease that you would offer us the other building. And we can supply you that lease if you'd like to.
That'd be great. I'd like to see
Yeah.
that.
So right now, there's apartments above the library that the city collects that rent, and they do not charge us rent, but they do maintain the building. And we pay for our telephone, that they pay for our, pays for our insurance, and electric. So I think we are open though to what works for you guys, because we really want to make this happen.
Yeah, and part of it is the location is so prime. We talked about that in the last meeting that we came to. We love to stay downtown, but we are busting out of our building and we're so limited in what we can do. We understand their concerns, and there's gonna have to be a dialogue between the two parties, but and we've spoken to someone else who has said she would be interested. And so it does feel like there's some urgency with them putting it up for sale and us having the option to buy it. And we do have a substantial building fund to put towards that as well.
And I also feel like this is the first time that the Cook Foundation, I think, has given this much money to our community, and I do feel like that we want it to be very team-oriented on looking at this, because I feel like going forward, it might help us get other things that they feel like. This is the first time that, I was able to stand out in front of that library building and point all the way around town on what's going on here, and they were very impressed. And I feel like, I don't say this was easy grant to get, but I also feel like they came over, they could see the need, and they gave pretty easily, it felt like, once they talked to us. So I do feel like we definitely want to consider that too.
You can, I mean, you can make comment or no.
Like Gail said, you know, we received that Cook Foundation grant and the Cooks have done a lot in Shiawassee County, most definitely, but usually it's in our community, it's the high school students that, you know, are reaping those benefits. So I think this is huge. I think it's $80,000 that gives us a good jump start. And hopefully we know there's gonna be cost and we just have to work together to try to, you know, Gail put together a nice timeline. I don't know if that included when the city purchased the property to build a library. That was before that, probably this timeline, but it's something that we've talked about for a long, long time. And the library is used a lot. Sandra very strongly wants to keep it there because she said, you're downtown eating, or you come to the library and you go eat, you go to the hardware, the dance studio kids come over, so. I strongly feel that we need to, yes, we know there's gonna be a cost, so we need to look hard and work together to try to make this first phase happen.
Just to renovate that building, and not have a light in the middle of the downtown would be a
Yes.
huge benefit. And building a new structure would just leave 2 displaced fronts on Grand River, so. No, I think getting some clarification on what exactly the financial implication would be on the city for the purchase and then renovation costs, because then we've got something to actually discuss.
Right, yeah, because the city will be responsible for doing the upstairs, most likely.
Yeah.
And I know in the packet, there was a statement from Jimmy about the structural integrity and stuff, and I know one inspector has went through it as well. And I don't think Dave has, but he did back 2 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever, and some of the DPW did go through there, but you gotta understand, you have $170,000 that's been sitting there for a long time, and I don't think we're able to find a way to utilize this, and them giving back $80,000 and just doing phase one. I feel like it'd make a huge impact on our city.
We do have intentions to investigate other grants. We just feel like we're in a holding pattern right now where we can't really move forward until we know we have the building with those other grants.
Is the city working on getting bids for the apartments up top, or are you guys working on that work? What is that? I know that's the end goal, but like,
So the
Who's
end
doing
goal
that?
would be phase two, would be the apartments, and there are some apartment grants out there, especially the urban type things that we're seeing. But our thought is to finish the phase one first and get that going and get it ready. And then if you guys want to, I mean, I think we'd be willing to help, but we figure that's money that if we're gonna have to figure out how to get some money up to it to get a grant. Some of the grants are 50-50, some of the grants are 30-70. I mean, it really depends. There are a lot of grants right now encouraging housing for sure. But our goal right now is to be able to utilize some money and get the phase one done. Is what we're concentrating on.
sure.
I mean, don't take this the wrong way, because I like the idea. I think it's great to do it, but I just worry about, and I'm a worst case scenario kind of guy.
I think I can answer before you. do that.
Yes, ma'am.
So the library's future and how long the library is going to be, we foresee this being a meeting place, a hub place. You know, an open area that we can utilize and pivot if we need to, if we feel like it's not needed for the library use. So I know a lot of people think, well, why are we putting money into a library? Well, there's a whole part of the library that we've had to take down because we haven't had the space, and that's the historical aspect of Laingsburg. And I really do feel like there's a place in this part to put that. Did I get even close to what you're?
No.
No?
But that was good. I mean, that's good to hear that too, but it's more of, if we get into that building and we find 10 times more than what you guys saw for repairs and mold and everything else, where is that contingency money at? That's what I'm concerned about. Like if it gets into that point and it's not, the money is physically not there and you guys can't get the grants, does that come back on the city?
So first of all, there is contingency in every bid that we have, because we've rehabbed an old building, so I get that. I don't think anybody would rehab a building if they were so tentative about what you're gonna find. I think you do get people on that test and we do need to figure out what we're dealing with, but, in essence, if you look at phase one, we are not building any walls. There's no walls to take down. The only thing is the structure, of the walls that current block walls there is to contend with. So there isn't a lot of.
So phase one, you wouldn't be taking the wall down between the two buildings,
There's one archway that will be.
so you would be taking that part down.
There is one, that's true. There is one archway.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I have an inspector to come here, but would you like to hear what he thought when he went through?
Well, I mean,
this?
I'm looking for anything,
Yeah.
I'm just getting information out from you.
I guess the bones of the structure and
Well, it's definitely an old building and it's been neglected for a long time. I went through it. Oh, was that a month ago, you think? Yeah. Maybe a month ago, and it had rained quite a bit, like that was, we hadn't had much rain all summer, and then it was like raining every other day, quite a bit. And it was dry in there. Now, I've heard some people were in here just a couple of days ago and it was wet on the upstairs. So now I'm concerned that he just did a patch job on the roof but I don't know anything about that. I was not in there the second time. Just
So
like
who-
this,
who
say,
what's in the building? That's a key to get in the building.
I don't-
Back doors unlocked
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
I would have come in and I didn't, so that's curious. And it's just like any project, you can do enough to make an open room and some bathrooms in the back and some storage and mechanical areas. Or you can make the Taj Mahal and I mean, the money going into the dance studio just down the block is 4 times that, but that's for a completely different project. That's for doing the upstairs. So I think you could get the building, if the roof got some issues, it might be worth, coming down a little bit on your offer to them.
So that's what we had thought about, is making an offer contingent on inspections and have people just do these inspections and then we can offer them if we do find something.
Mhm.
So he has had some work on the roof for sure. He's gonna give us the paperwork on it. So there is that, but our thought is that if we could at least make an offer and get it going, we can make the offer contingent on inspections and we can counter offer if we find something that we feel like is gonna be a big ticket item.
I mean, I just talked to an old farmer a long time ago, and if the farm next door to you ever comes up for sale, it's a once in your lifetime to buy. If you want to be in this downtown area with the library and you need more space, this might be a once in a lifetime buy to buy it and be locked into it.
Right.
I agree with what you guys said about it's the worst looking building down there, and there'd be a giant improvement just unboarding the front and painting it,
Well, and they're limited on what activities they can have there.
Yeah.
They have story time, but they invited hometown childcare. But you can't bring all your kids because we don't have room. So welcome to our library, but we don't want all of you.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of growth there. The Friends of the Library it's always been a very good volunteer group, but they're expanding. There's a lot of different activities going on that are bringing those young kids. So I just think that Jason has valid points, you do. I think with the building committee and, Danelle or Kim working with us to get these figures. I think it's there. I think there's a building waiting for us and the Cooks gave us $80,000 with no match.
I'm new to this. What has the owner offered it for?
And so you can see the SCB, if you doubled it, that's a number, and the number he gave me is below that number by $13,000. Is that good enough for me not to say the number out loud?
Well, it's his.
Yeah, but that isn't what we were planning, what we
Right,
were
but-
offering him. But
What
that's
did he
he said.
say he wanted for?
Yeah, that number that I just said, so take the SCB, do you want me to say it loud here, is everybody think I should be?
If
saying this out?
he said it to you, you
Yeah,
can say it.
112.
112?
But that's not what we think we would offer him, but that's what he's asking for.
Right.
If you take the SED, it's 125. and I don't think that building is worth that either. But it is somewhat worth something to us because of the location too. But that's not where we would.
I think those figures are in the.
Page,
sheet that Randy has.
Page 25.
Yeah.
Of the packet. Tim, was page up top, page 25.
I mean, I agree with Jason. We need to get numbers, because. I mean, we need to know kind of what it's gonna cost us to renovate the upstairs, because. We're losing tax
Oh.
money for the building. We're losing insurance on the building, electricity on the building. We're losing a whole bunch of money, and if we can't rent out the upstairs, because. I mean, frankly, we have other projects that are more in need of our capital than that at this point. Then it's, the math just has to all play out.
So you do realize that if a not-for-profit came down and bought that building, you would get property taxes anyway. And also, I think there's houses popping up because we have good schools here. And I do feel like that those property taxes will keep happening if we expand our library. And so in my thought, that is gonna help justify paying for this situation. Plus, it helps us use money that we haven't had any way of using to get a building off the rolls that is very unattractive downtown. So you have to look at all the options of it when you think about it.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, the nonprofit coming in, I mean, that we're talking about a needle in a haystack.
We have one on our thinking.
So to get the figures that you guys would need. Do we have to put in an offer with contingency on inspections?
Well, do you guys know, I mean, I know you have Jimmy's bid, but you guys got another bid, correct?
Right out of the coming, it does take a little bit of time. Right
Yeah.
now. So I'm really sorry. We met with them on either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I have asked them to try to give it to us so that it will be before we meet at the building committee again and before you guys meet again, because I feel like it's important that we get that second bid. But just to clarify, there's no walls to be done. We have to renovate the walls, probably bleach the walls and do some stuff, but there's no wall. There's just 2 bathrooms in the back. And redo the front, and put some new windows in. As you can see, there's smaller windows and larger windows. I think we have to be economical with our money, obviously. But we are getting affected.
What figures do you feel like you guys would need on top of what's provided in the packet? Just the second bid?
I think in order for everyone to like really know, we'd have to have like dollar for dollar what you guys have and how much you have, how much is gonna be spent on the building, how much is gonna be to renovate the building. The upstairs is, gonna fall on the city to do. I mean, we're gonna have to find a grant to do that. But like exactly dollar for dollar what is gonna be, and if it's gonna be fully from the library money, if that's gonna, because they're really close to balancing right now. So that's kind of, I think, what we've talked about as far as balancing that budget for the library now. When you make it bigger, is that gonna still, try to get that, so that's not so close to being.
And if this is something that would help you guys put you over the edge of wanting to support this, I'd be willing to do a fundraiser for this and see what kind of money we can get from those communities. But I think the community would be behind this. And if you said, I want you to raise $15,000 for contingency money, I feel like we can do it if that's what you guys need from us. I feel like this board really wants this, huh?
Since I want to try to do that anyways.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
one auction coming up.
Yeah.
We always.
That's
have
always a big one.
Something coming.
Cause we've talked about, just scenarios of, okay, so if you're gonna need more money, whatever the numbers come in, that's gonna take fundraising away from your budget that the library, does fundraising to keep their budget even. So And we worried that, going forward, you're gonna be doing all these fundraisers for the building, but then what's gonna happen to the budget? You put the library now.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna get people that would be, donating for the building part and not necessarily the other part. And I think that we need one of you at that meeting, because we can have our meeting again and we can just keep going round and round with, right, where do we go from here? But until we have something from city council. And I get, we need to have those numbers, but I think we need you guys at a meeting so that we can hash all that out and really talk about it. And I don't know if Dave needs to be there. Maybe it's a matter of everybody taking a tour of that building, so we get a good visual of it, but I think that there's that opportunity, and we don't know. He's being patient, not listing it, but that time is.
But he's also had it for 40 years.
Correct,
But
but
his wife has
and done
died.
Zero.
Yeah, his wife has died. They have sold all of their properties. He'd like to. He's already put money. He said 15,000 a month. Really. But anyway, he says he's put $15,000. He has done some work in the back. So he was doing something before I even contacted him. I just knew when that other property went up that I sensed, oh, his wife had passed away. I'm thinking he's gotten rid of the parking lot thing. So I do feel like, and remember, we did get some money, but we have raised $70,000 from people before that we had in this account. I feel like if they really knew we were going forward, I do think people would actually give us more money for the building.
Right.
If that's something that shows our credibility going forward, I feel like.
And I think we need to understand what the value of having a public library is. It's just not the library. It's important for a community.
No, I agree. It's not like we're against it. We want
Right.
more facts and what.
I think the exact
What it looks like
numbers
it's gonna
so
look
that
like.
everyone can see, and make an educated, reasonable saying, okay, this is what we have.
Right,
This
and-
is what it's gonna cost.
Time, because obviously we're gonna have now we'll have 3 new council people that haven't been involved in this and don't know exactly what's going on, so. Give them a little bit of time, the next meeting, maybe we come back and they'll have extra questions that we can hash out, or we can go to the library meeting or something along those lines, where it's just getting information before we make a decision quickly and harshly. We don't wanna say no, absolutely, we don't wanna say yes, we need to know why and what is it going to happen.
I want everyone to feel free to ask any questions or email any questions, because that's what I feel like that building committee is for, is to try to answer those questions, so you guys feel comfortable going forward. That's our goal. So
You'll put us on the agenda for next month, and hopefully by then we'll have that other bid.
Yeah, and once you get that other bid, if you can send it to Kim or Danelle, then you guys can send it out to us. And it's a little more homework for everybody, but, it'd be nice if we can come back to that next meeting and have a good amount of questions and have a good idea of where we're heading. Because that way we don't hold you guys up much longer either, so we can make that final decision to get this thing going or not, but it's just getting the information out there so you guys are educated. I mean, I'd like to have some more information too, but you guys are behind them what we are, so. That's kind of the idea.
Is this bid from JAC Development LLC, is that Extreme Mason Contractors LLC? That's the same company?
they came in 2020, and then they came in just recently, and in 2020, the difference, he did notice that it was dry, and that one of them had done something to the road. But we can get someone to go up there. I feel like that's something that we can do, but I'd like to be able to get the building secured and then split it out. And
So I would think when you put a bid in, then the inspectors are gonna come in.
Right.
For all the testing and all that will be.
Definitely some contingencies and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but yeah. That's the other thing, we can make sure there's contingencies in some type of plan if we move forward, say, hey, this is all contingency on inspection of the roof, because I mean, you guys want to make sure that that's right too, because you don't want to have a building with a leaky roof right now.
Certain things that we've already outlined with the realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the real version, you can see it's gonna do that. Pro bono. You know, they would like to see it. So that's what it says that. It was good too. So I feel like there's a lot of people, I think, want to step up the house.
It could be a huge benefit for the community. And even if you guys can just cover the cost of it, and us knowing that. Having some sort of a sense of what revenue we're gonna lose from the tax, I can't imagine that generates a ton of tax revenue.
Say one more
Yeah.
thing. I'm not in your shoes, so I don't know all the ins and outs of what the city is putting money towards, but. I think if you were to poll the community, you'd be surprised at the number of people that frequent the library, that love the library, that use the library, and that would be thrilled at this over maybe some other things. And that's just me as a mom of young kids and the people that are in my circle.
Right. What, with the addition of the other building, what would be the seating capacity of like your group area?
It would be substantial. Right now, to hold a meeting.
Like
we
15 or
We
something?
can barely hold our own
Right.
library board.
Okay.
So we're looking at a multi-purpose room that could be used for meetings.
Right.
For story time, for clubs, for instructional, educational times. It would open the opportunity for it to be used as a library should be used.
Right, and I mean, it's just, there are benefits that the council may want to know about, hey, what is this gonna look into? I mean, things like that, that will help make decisions too, because again, it is something the community could definitely utilize and.
So one of our story time was 38 kids with their parents, and if you've ever been in the back of the library. That's why we're envisioning this in space to keep kind of open.
Mhm.
So when it's not doing story time, it could do other things for the community, and I really do hope that it also encompasses our love for Laingsburg in there.
Mhm.
With what we've had before.
There's momentum going on in the library right now and kind of getting halted because there's only so many people that can fit in that back area. There's only so much we can do. We can't really offer classes, the club options. We've tried to be creative with that space and it's falling short.
Mhm.
And I just feel like, again, I think you may or may not be surprised by how many people in the community would feel like this was a priority, would feel like this is something that they want their tax dollars to go toward.
Right. No, I agree, it's a great opportunity and stuff, it's just. Sure, black and white numbers is good, that's all.
And we want that too for our own peace of mind.
Anything else? Any other questions, anything else from you guys, Dr.?
Just thank you for listening. I know this is a lot for these people to try to catch up. And, you know, we really are, but we felt like it was really important.
Oh, and we'll get on the next agenda too, just to update us and figure that gives us, everybody here enough time to get up to it, so. Okay, moving on, resolution.
So this resolution is for many people. We applied for a DNR grant for a boat launch that the city owns outside of town. Which is, I don't know, Dave, you explain where exactly it is.
It's 1.69 acres. And it is on the northwest side of the bridge going into the last year. On Laingsburg.
South
I
of the
know
harbor.
that's, yeah.
That way.
So we applied for a grant, back. I don't even know, it's been over a year ago. They finally approved us, we got it, and this resolution is to move forward. This is the small drawing of what we have already. This would be what we would be doing. Everything has been done, it's just now doing the resolution, getting the grant money and moving forward with it.
Basically, it
there-
took a year for it to go through legislation.
Yeah.
So it's been in the winds for,
And it was they're giving us 200, we're paying 100.
They're
So,
giving 200.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not a match.
no, well, it's partial match.
It's been on the plans for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's been talked about for over that, yeah. Yep, so this is just the resolution that they want from us, that we're still willing to go forward and move along with the boat launch.
The money's already been put aside
Yep.
years and years and years ago. So
Yeah, yep.
The 100,000's been put aside.
That solved the library problem.
Pardon?
That would solve the library problem.
And that money that is set aside for, is strictly set aside for that and can't be used for anything else.
Unless you guys move it. $200,000 that you might be giving up.
And what is the expected use of that?
It's a
Oh,
boat launch.
right, but do they know, I mean, it's not boats, it's kayaks.
Kayaks, yep, and canoes.
which the
Which
closest
is-
one is in DeWitt.
And do we know, is that section of Looking Glass, is it
Yes,
clear?
currently people use it now, but they don't have any place to get off, so they end up getting off on private property.
There's one off of. From Lake Road.
Now. We did, this was a huge undertaking when we applied for this. This was, we went through and how many people would want this, how the Looking Glass River, committee that cleans the river and is the, kind of takes care of it all. How this would bring people into town that they don't necessarily go that far because there isn't a boat launch. So that was the study that was done.
Is that MSU study?
No, I think it was, C2E.
Yeah, because we had MSU come in. A couple of years ago, and they did the study, and that was one of the strongest things that they suggested was tourism and even some type of boat launch out there.
It was brought up in the MSU one, it was brought up in that group that did that.
Yeah, the last one, a couple years
This
ago.
would also open us up for, trail grants. Because, we've tried to get those before and they just, as we don't have anything that goes outside of the city limits, this would be something we could actually apply for those too. Those are kind of specific.
And do you recall back when I was in council? It was
Yeah.
brought up.
Yeah.
It was talked up, it's been talked about a lot, okay.
It was on the Park and Rec.
Mhm. I mean, it's been around a long time. So we need a motion to approve or deny that resolution, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's their resolution that they need. Let's send them back.
Then we can discuss it further if we get a motion. I'll make the motion so we can discuss. Motion on accepting or denying. Accepting. So a motion on the floor to accept the resolution and move forward with it. Any discussion? Discuss it or do we get a second? We get a second person, then we'll discuss. Yes. I guess does this have to be voted on today?
We have to send this back, yeah.
Promptly. Or in
Yeah.
a month or two.
No,
No,
it's,
Promptly.
we,
the state's asking.
yes, so we can move forward with.
What is the plan? Oh, do I have to make another motion to talk?
We have to
No.
second it and then we can
Second
discuss.
it.
Okay, I will second his motion.
Okay, we have the second on the floor, the motion of approving, and then we can discuss.
Okay, so what is the plan for patrolling? For when it becomes a party place?
Dan, we went over that, didn't you?
Yeah, we've gone through there and just been through our regular routines anyways for checking it,
Okay,
so.
it's not gonna be gated? Not,
Mm-mm.
so it's open 24/7?
Correct. I think they have some solar lights there too.
Yeah, it's gonna be very minimal.
Solar
for-
cameras.
There's limited parking, I know
Yeah.
that. ADA accessible and some other, I think it's a gravel driveway.
Yes.
Is there a liability insurance increase or anything by expanding to that?
I don't think so. I mean, I
I
don't think
think
it covers
Under
it.
a policy that we currently have.
Cause it's already a city owned.
Yeah,
City owned
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
already
so-
property, you know.
like it is underneath our parks.
Right, we already have the liability coverage for it.
Has the terms of the agreement already went through everybody's hands and
Yep, this is
the rookies, so.
yeah, all this was done a year ago. This is just the resolution saying that
That finally's coming through.
that we're, we agreed to what they.
And the
agreed to.
terms of the agreement are. Have we got Cliff Note version?
As far as
But like what we're getting,
the 200, we put the 100, and then we have to follow all of the grant agreements rules. Yeah. We have to supply them with all we've spent so far, we've already spent a lot of money on this. Just to get C2A's
design.
plans.
Oh, C2 did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we had to work with Eagle to do some solar boardings.
Yep.
It was an old dump site. and
So we got 50
We have
into
money
it already.
Yeah, he's,
So if we turn this away,
we're losing 250.
Yeah, right. We're definitely, we'll be losing more than 200.
And probably future chances of other grants.
Yeah, it's not good to turn things down that you've been approved, or you, if I didn't
Yeah.
go forward. I mean, I know it's realized it's not this council, but the council had to prove it for us to even apply for the grant.
And this started well before.
I think it started before you,
Yeah.
before we were on the board.
I was on
I mean, I think it started when
the
Tim was on the board
yeah.
a time ago.
I
right?
Yeah.
was on in 13, 14.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
back then.
It was brought up then.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor if we're accepting it. Do you guys want to discuss any further or do you have any questions? All right, let's do a roll call on.
Miller,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Ennis,
Yes.
and Beavers.
Yes. Yes, that is approved and moving on. Traffic control order number 234.
Well, with the new bus lane that the school has put through, they're coming out on South Woodhull by Williams there. And at that time of day, traffic is tight. So to avoid any accidents, at this time, we're asking that no parking zone be put on the east side of South Laingsburg from basically Grand River to William Street, so that the frees up the buses from hitting any vehicles that are parked on the east side of the road. Shortly, once the construction company comes in, they're gonna put in a sidewalk that still has to run across the current drive to prevent traffic to keep going through to exit onto Grand River. Once the construction company puts that sidewalk in, they have some more gravel that they're gonna put down, roll that. And then, it'll be a certain area that people can park there until, I guess, phase 2 starts of the parking lot. Not quite sure when phase 2 is gonna start. But then people will be able to park there as well. So, but right now, it's a safety issue for the school buses to prevent those cars from parking on the east side.
Is there a time frame for that, no parking, or is it pretty much all day?
I put no parking at any time because you don't know when the buses are gonna be coming in and out of there. If they have special events and that type of thing, so,
And that's the east side, not, so the west side isn't affected next to the building.
correct. So there's like maybe 3 spots on the west side.
Okay. I'm just envisioning a bus turning and hitting hard, like one, like Gail's car.
Make a motion to approve traffic control order number 234.
Motion made, any seconds?
I'll second that motion.
Any more discussions?
I think my only discussion would be that, we're certainly losing a couple spots. And I'm for this traffic control order, but I think that we should try to move forward with getting the phase 2 of the parking lot done. Whenever we can, so that we're not, it's already limited in parking down there, so. That would be my hopes that we can make that happen.
What is phase 2?
Parking lot more on the north end of that, where they're putting the crushed asphalt, they're allowed to put a parking lot. How many spaces is that gonna be?
I have no idea how many spaces. I think maybe,
More to make up what's
oh yeah,
lost.
Yeah.
I think there'd be like
Yeah,
maybe
more
30
than what we
parking
had.
spaces.
I thought maybe even 50, there's a lot. It would be substantial for downtown, all of
Right.
where the storage units were.
They plan on the little parking lot they have now. That puts like some of the teachers are parking in that super duper spot. They're gonna make that whole,
Yeah,
one whole
we're
one.
working
So they're gonna take that out and make that one whole parking lot versus.
So it could be 40 vehicles.
Has the city received an update on,
Phase 2 or anything?
no, the phase that they did and any of the samplings that have been taken out?
No.
No, I went and talked to Matt a couple days ago, just saying, hey, where are we at? Let's get this thing going, because we haven't had this communication, so we're gonna get this communication built back up, and we're gonna talk, and I will get you guys an update of everything.
Maybe the
real
next
soon.
meeting?
Yes.
We did get an update on the soil, correct, that whether or not like.
Yeah, nothing went to Detroit, it all
Yeah.
went to Lansing, so we
It's a
saved money
lesser
there.
cost because it wasn't as contaminated as it potentially could have been.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, I did get that from him, and, they're working on getting the gravel crushed down right now for the base, so that way they get that going, but,
That's good news, yeah.
yeah.
That should bring any worst case scenario costs down.
Yes, yep, and pretty much, there's no more digging, so there should be no more hidden cost involved, it's just getting the parking lot shaped out and all that graded and stuff, so.
Do you, you'll put signs up
Yeah,
for the parking?
that's why we need the traffic control order, so that we can put the signs up. Say no parking at any times.
Does that pay this order? Would that allow, like, give you the funds to buy those signs, or is that a second order or?
No, that'll come through
We
DPW.
have a side panel signs.
Any further discussion? All right, let's get to the voting. So, these will do it. Okay, all in favor, say aye, please.
I,
Any opposed? And that is passed. You want to do this, or you want to get to the DDA first?
Yeah.
Okay, we missed one, so we're gonna bring in the DDA. There's 2 applications to get on the DDA board. We have to approve those, so. You,
One is, Gail Giesler and the other is Frank McGillis. Where, the DDA has already approved them to be on, so just council needs to make a motion and approve.
To accept the DDA's recommendation.
so, all in favor to approve Gail to the DDA? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, sorry, sorry, backtrack.
Wait, I need a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to accept the DDA's recommendation to Gail and,
Right.
yeah, Frank.
I will second.
Okay, motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion now? Almost got to that. Hey, no more discussion. All right, so all in favor for, do we need them separately? Or we can go? You can do it. All right, we approve both of them to the DDA. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Welcome to the board, guys. Okay, virtually newly elected officials training.
So I highly recommend this training for all council people, and if you didn't take it when you came on first, I recommend it now. It's one of the best ones out there that MML puts it on. The city has, money put aside for this to be paid for all council members, so, I just need who all wants to take it, and if all your emails are the same as what I have right now, then I will set it up. It's virtual, or you can go to the one that's in person also. So
Virtual is 7, got it back. Right?
And we just do that.
they will be sent to your emails. I'll
Okay,
sign
so
you
we're,
up.
we're not meeting in a group doing it.
No,
Okay,
virtual.
No,
I would prefer to go in person.
you can go in person, yep.
I can
Just-
offer $30.
we've got enough for you. You can go in person.
But I hate wasting money.
I don't think anybody's taken it in a while, so I think there's some extra in.
You need us to fill this out?
No, I just want to make sure that everyone's emails are the same as where they want this. If you're doing it virtual, that it's the email that I have on file. You get all your other.
Is the virtual, I mean, but they're at these pre-scheduled times.
Yes, yeah, you have to watch
Use
them,
it.
yeah.
You just get on your computer. I did it when I got on.
Are they're live then during that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Zoom meeting.
Yep.
Yep.
I believe you can answer questions.
Yeah, you can ask
Okay.
questions.
Right.
How many little square heads can they fit on the screen?
A lot.
They just.
They
That's how big your screen is.
can
That's
also
true.
just blank it out, I don't ever know who you are.
I say.
Got to take over mine.
There you go.
So do you need to know the date that we want?
Yeah.
Yes, I will,
So you want to?
Right now, you need to know.
Take them off.
yeah, because I'm planning on signing y'all up for the.
Hey,
Check the calendar.
Whichever one is in. I think there's only two in person and 2 options.
So you want us just to tie up right now or?
Sure. Yep.
Is it bad if we wait till February?
Yes.
Is it- Well, there's only two options.
I know.
I have
I
I have an obligation on the first one.
Oh.
Nope, that's why I did 2.
I'll do November 21st, but I'm gonna miss Van Anna's Girl Night Out.
I'll buy your 21st and I will also miss.
You don't smile too much.
Seems way more important that he's there.
did you hear me, Kim?
What's that?
I'll do the same.
Okay.
Can I let you know tomorrow, Kim? I'll let you know tomorrow.
Hmm?
And that's everything, the big November one word.
You're gonna do.
I'll leave them.
Oh, tell me, okay.
I'd rather sleep it up. No.
February.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to get it done, but I
Sure
just
that
need to clear it out.
So you're gonna do the first one?
Hey,
Okay.
Should still take your $30.
will there be a test?
Thanks.
There wasn't one. I
No,
did it.
no.
No, just it's informative.
Yeah.
All right, anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay. Let's go to, an idea of getting tablets instead of printing all these booklets or all these packets. It's something that we could do if we let them know, and this is where you guys have to make a decision if you want to move the tablets instead of having these sheets of papers. You can scroll through the agenda as we're in the meeting on that, be saving paper, ink, time, printing. all
And
that
when
stuff.
you open our packet up on the website, it's got little hyperlinks to everything that's in there, so you can just open it and it lists all of them. So it's pretty convenient to do it even off our website, to look at the packet. And you can, there's like a little thing that, shows the recording, and then it has all those things, and it's a lot, it's pretty nice, it's pretty nice in the way you. Except for.
What kind of cost?
Well, that's why I'm asking right now, because if we want to move forward with it, we would want to be looking at Black Friday, because they always go on sale for Black
We're just
Friday.
thinking like Amazon.
I'll be,
And who would,
Getting
like,
what?
would the city
Like an
own them?
Amazon
Would they be
truck.
maintained?
yes, they would
here?
the city would own them, but I'm up to you guys whether you wanted to just take them home with you and bring them back every week or leave them here. Yeah, they would be.
And
city owned.
this is a case where you cannot use your own, correct?
You can,
You can.
Yep.
Pretty used to.
I usually bring my laptop and they just gave me packets and I usually have a computer. up.
So we can put city stuff on our own.
you
stuff.
can. I mean, you
The
can get on the
packet.
website anytime and look at the packet.
Yeah,
at any
that's
time.
all public information.
Yeah.
Okay,
But you wanna, watch for FOIAs and, doing that.
Yeah, don't cross your personal stuff with city stuff if possible. That's what I would highly recommend.
Yeah, I'm concerned about like the security aspects of it, I guess, like them city run tablets with people using them at home for their own personal use and stuff.
Plus, I mean, it would not be a
Well,
personal usage, thing.
yeah.
It would be
No.
city usage only. It would be very, I mean, we'd have some regulations and have everybody sign off on like a security sheet. Just saying, this is what this is for, this is only for this, but it's basically in the long run, in a year, for how much money we spend on paper and ink, you'd be paying for the tablets.
So this
And
will
it's easy to
save
update
money.
it.
This would save money in the big picture.
And,
Yes.
and what does your, tech person think about the security of it?
Oh, he's fine. I mean, we have laptops ourselves that I mean, that's,
Right, but
We don't put
your
anything personal on it.
laptops are, he probably monitors the safety of those and makes sure that the antivirus and all that stuff is he gonna do that?
yeah,
with all
because we
these
log
too?
into underneath the city,
Right,
so.
Yeah, so if we hook them to our server.
Tablets are typically a little bit more secure than a laptop.
Yeah.
That's one benefit of them. Um, In terms of purchasing from every council member, I mean, I would just use my laptop. I mean, would we have to purchase one for every council member, or just folks who would need one?
It's sort of strictly, if I just wanted to bring it up now, because if it's something that they want to do, we want to get them. And that's
Yeah.
Black Friday.
And
If
the
you don't
city-
want them, then, you know,
Right, the city owns them, it's city property, so when council changes, they're still here. They don't go away with other people, they stay
Yeah.
outside,
Well, they're obsolete by then anyway.
most likely.
What kind of cost do we spend on paper and ink in a year?
each,
For
Cassie knows this
packets?
by heart, but anything that's colored is more. But
Spend about 200 to 300, depending on how much color copies do, just in the copier itself.
In a
Yeah.
year,
I
In a
charge
month.
individually for each.
in a month
paper.
just for our packets?
No, we don't
just
have break-
For
breakdown.
paper, for like, I don't have it broke down. For just a packet,
packet.
but
That's
a
what I'm.
lot of the paper that
We use
it's
this for
for the
packets.
Cause we do most of the stuff, you know, through our computers and email them, but so most printing is for this, but think about, and even if you cut it in half. $100, that's a month for 12, for a whole year.
And it's really easy to update a packet too, like, so somebody wants to add something into it, I've got the packet all ready to go. We hope we can print them on Friday, because we wait till the last minute because of that. And then it's like, oh, boom, forgot something, we gotta put it in there, I can do that easily. We print them all, then reprint them all. And. So I mean, it is, and a lot of councils have gone to it. I don't, there's not a lot anymore that print packets. And print form. Tablets, and everybody brings their laptops or.
Even for this year, we look at, we get 4, see what council members use it. We could bring our own stuff in anyways, but it's just, instead of having to force somebody to bring in their own private stuff, it'd be here for a city usage. But it's an.
We
option.
could go either. If we decide to go the tablet route, we could bring our own
Yeah.
and save money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because you just go to the city website, you can just download the PDF out, that's what I always do for my digital packet. They can even email it out in a digital form too, and then it's just there, but it's just as easy.
Yeah,
So it's just where.
we just send a link to the.
for myself, I don't need another
yeah,
Device.
apparatus to have to keep track of.
Well, that's something you
Yeah.
can just leave here too, and we can have them, you know, pass them out like we do that. Yeah.
Just have a stationary and. It's a big picture thought. Save money. Save money.
so you've got them. If we come in empty handed, here you go.
Yep.
Got it.
And Black Friday, you can get in these at $60 or $70.
$60 or $70.
At Black Friday sales, yeah.
We don't need no fancy ones, so. It's just gonna be looking at.
How's he gonna go on a rocket ride for $50, $60, $70?
Maybe I'll let a question.
So no case, just a tablet.
That one. Especially if it stays here, why?
Yeah,
We don't need
Two
it.
surface.
I mean, we might look at cases down the road, maybe, or if they're on sale. Black Friday, and they're cheap, yeah.
Yeah, for myself, if I'm gonna access it at home on my own. Because if you're not printing me a packet that I'm getting on Friday, I still have to look at it before I show up to the meeting, so.
Then you just come here and it would be. Tablet and stuff.
would we have more time to do homework if we were to go to the website and gather the stuff?
You can go on the website as soon as I printed the packet. It's done on Friday. So as soon as I send you guys your packets,
Okay.
it's already been,
So
it's
it's
on the
not-
website.
As we go, it's
No,
on Friday.
Yep.
Prior to.
yeah.
We've got an extra day now.
We do.
With or without the tablets, that we can see the packets on.
It's more of, do we wanna spend that money? Or if you all have your own device, or we can keep the packets, I'm fine just bringing my computer, not having to have it that way.
Well, the Laingsburg recyclers would probably be happy if we got tablets.
If they were. Might need to pay for it.
No, we'll
Thank you,
not be
guys.
Giving them as much.
Okay.
Maybe, I think that's a good idea, maybe purchase 3 or 4, that way if someone have them here, you don't have to feel obligated to print a packet, because there's enough alternative to it.
You have a motion there, or still informative? explanation?
Well, I need a motion.
Okay, so we don't,
It'll be,
Do we have a
Friday
dollar amount that
or-
we need the,
yes, I would like a, how many in a dollar motion? I know.
and you don't really have a dollar amount?
No, we looked, it's pretty much gonna be between 70 and 120, I think is what they are right now that we can buy, so we're hoping to get them.
So 400 would cover you.
Yeah, I think so. It depends on how many you want, you're gonna do 4? I would think that would.
There's 7 of us. I'm bringing one, you're bringing one, you're bringing one. So that's 4 left.
I can bring my work laptop in.
I'd probably just bring my phone or prefer to keep paper, I guess. It does, I don't know. I really would like to see the dollar amounts, and it doesn't seem. In my mind, my initial reaction before it comes tonight, I'm like, how could that be cost effective to get that? I definitely am a recycler and all of us saving trees, but. It seems like it wouldn't be cost effective to switch to tablets, especially if they, I mean, they're not gonna last a decade. Right, I know, it's not 60, 70 pages.
This one's 70 pages.
Right.
And this is double sided,
Right.
where some of them, it's hard to do double sided because of things that are in there.
Just. Yeah,
And I prefer paper.
I do too, I like
I
to
can go back
write
and
notes
forth
and, but
easily. Yeah, you can with a.
I mean, there's nothing.
even if we have a tablet, I think I'm still gonna want a piece of paper to write. Notes, I guess.
It's okay to say. no.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm
It's
here,
not-
that's why I wanted it on this,
We
but
don't-
like, if it's a no.
If we don't think we
then I'm
need it,
not
I mean,
looking.
most of us are bringing our own stuff anyways, we don't need to spend money.
Right.
It's not like we're forcing anybody to approve it, it's like.
But
why
if it is
not?
costing us like $1,000 more a year to print out paper for packets, like that seems foolish. I just would like to know those numbers, I guess personally, but. I know that's hard to like figure that out, but I just like a pack of a ream of paper, 500 sheets as well.
500 sheets, you got
$3,
70.
$4, I don't know.
So
we
Well,
spend-
30.
You guys have a Xerox, don't you?
Yeah, that's,
So you charge for every piece of paper that goes through
Yes.
it.
and it's more if it's colored.
Yeah, right, he sends a sheet
Yeah,
for
so-
black and white.
Yeah,
We just got-
14
You're
is
under
up
contract.
there, the colors,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be about a half a ream of paper per tonight's meeting. 14 cents a sheet. Jesus.
That does happen. So that's where I just want to know those numbers. I mean, if it makes sense, then sure, but. I still probably gonna want one piece of paper to scratch some notes on.
We can get you a blank.
I
piece of
can get
paper.
you a notebook, I got lots of notebooks.
Yeah, we get.
Anyways, so.
Are we
let's-
ready for a motion?
Yeah, let's get a motion on the table.
I'll make a motion that you buy 4 tablets. Not to exceed $400.
Let's get a motion on the table, need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Jason seconds, we motion on the table to buy 4 not to exceed $400. Roll call, money.
Miller,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Ennis,
Yes.
Peters.
No. Okay, motion passes. Enter text here, enter text here, Kelly.
That's the committee reports.
Oh, okay, so something that we've always gone through is committees, what is that?
The committee reports, which you all have the minutes from every committee. So, to Well, there's something you can do now that you don't have to go through every single committee report and that person read off what you already have in your hands. So it's takes about 20 minutes to half an hour to do that. So if you all agree to just look at your committee reports, if you have a question, then that person can answer those questions. Otherwise, it's just kind of redundant to go over the committee report, except for Dan's. Dan,
Well, and finance, because we'll be meeting before
yes,
the council.
which is kind of backwards. So finance and police are done right before the council meeting. So we're going over, you're getting last month's minutes because they're not done yet, but you're going over that month. So those are the two that, you know, you could talk about. If there's anything going on. I mean, Dan has a whole report that you can look at. They don't need to be read word for word.
Yeah,
But
that's-
you
that's
can
where
see
we're
it,
going.
yeah, trying to just take up that time that everyone has when they have a question, then, or if there's something going on, say. The DDA is doing some major project, then you wanna talk about it, you wanna, let the board know that this is coming, or, like the library has a lot of stuff that's been going on, so they're gonna. Fill you in on some of the details, but to go over every single report, you have to, it's just,
It was being read verbatim, so.
yeah.
I mean, what I would approach is like, all right, let's go to the committee reports. Is there anything vital information that we want to discuss openly? If not, you guys can review these. If you have any questions, please ask your questions now. If not, we can move on out of committee reports. That's where Dan will step up. So, all right, let's do the police report, do the planning report.
Well, now that we go to Tuesday, because typically the end
You
of
will
the
have-
month. It's kind of that thing, they might be able to
Get
be an
the,
add-on
Mhm.
and sent out to them.
oh, yeah, that's true,
Send it as an addition.
If they have any questions, but,
yeah, that's true,
we
they might be able to
can
add,
cover it also at the police committee, but possibly be able, depending on where the end of the month falls. To get
Maybe in
them
the
ahead of
packet.
time.
yeah.
Are you guys comfortable with that change?
Or we could do highlights.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
Yeah.
something that is standing out, let's do it. I'm just trying to figure out a way to not read this word for word like it was getting done, and that way we can move fast.
I do want to ask if we can go back to,
I say no.
you gotta say no, yes, you can.
Maybe need to whack it.
The, kind of skipped over a couple things in the, rules of procedure.
Okay.
The consent agenda. So a consent agenda is when you can approve multiple things in one motion consecutive. And those are typically the things that are on there all the time. The treasurer report, the, council meetings, and the paying the bills. So those are done all separately now, but we can do a consent agenda where all of those would be approved at once. So that's why I moved I don't know if anybody noticed, I moved the authorization to pay the bills at the top. So it would be, you are approving the council meeting minutes, the treasurer report, and paying of the bills in one motion. Now, if any person at any time wants to pull one of those out, then you can pull them out right before we do that consent agenda. So if there was something on the council meeting minutes that was wrong, or you found an error, you just say, I'd like to move that out, then you take the other two, and then you would discuss whatever it is that one you pulled out. Just another thing that can see
Save
at the
us
meeting,
30 seconds.
and they're typically the things that you approve every single meeting.
Right, sure. Would you guys be comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, some changes, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable with it before we do it, so. But I think it's fine, getting us quicker is cool.
See, this is why I like my paper.
Should have said no.
If you had had your tablet, you could have clicked the little blue box and it would have taken you right to the beginning.
Yeah,
You
that's
could have
the
scrolled
beauty
through.
of that, is that you never go paper, where am I at, what number am I on? Once you learn how to do it, I know it's a little tricky.
Randy and I will switch seats and I'll walk you through it.
All right, what else you got?
The agenda. You wanted to talk about how things are gonna be put on the agenda.
Can we talk about committees though, or do we already pass that?
No, we can.
All right,
Oh, you wanna talk about?
Yeah,
your-
I do.
your
Yeah, I wanna,
specific one.
I just wanna highlight, the silent auction that's gonna be happening, it'll be going through Winterfest, but they are starting. Oh, gosh. Yeah, what day we starting?
Next week, isn't it?
It's coming up.
No,
So if you have
we're
something to
starting.
donate, they are taking donations. But that silent auction is gonna be going through Winterfest and there's activities there during Winterfest, so that's. That's busy with the friends, so that's my highlight.
The agenda.
The agenda. Okay, so for the agenda, you know, if you guys have things to put on the agenda. I would like just to run them through the mayor, that way we don't have things that could be not put on the agenda, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't wanna say that I will dictate everything that goes on the agenda, but it's just some things that can be discussed, not even in a meeting or answered by Kim and Nell without having to be on the agenda. I mean, it's just, a free for all sometimes may not be the best thing, but it's not like I'm gonna say no to much of any.
So if a citizen wanted something on the agenda, how does that go?
If they do, and they call me, I would tell them they have to. If that's how we're gonna proceed with it. So and I think that as far as committees, it should be the chair. Say the library wants to add something to the agenda, it should, or like the friends want to add, it should be that chair. Asking the mayor what he wants on the agenda. Just because it can happen where we get two people from the same committee. Saying, hey, we want to put this on the agenda. I'm gonna have two separate things to put on. So I think, and that's usually how it happens anyways. I mean, most of the time it's the chair asking anyways.
So is that one of these things? Where am I at? Where if I think, let's see if I would have.
That's the rules of procedure.
Yes, it really is.
The rule, that's the rule of procedure that you contact the mayor to have something put on the agenda.
That's what you're setting right now as rules of procedure.
Right, but that's not in these documents already.
That states that, no, that's a rule you can make each time the mayor is.
Okay,
Like if you're in a committee. You don't have everybody just throwing the
Sure,
committee
yeah.
agenda. You don't have 5 people saying, no, this all needs to be.
Yeah,
happening.
no,
It should
I
be
understand that,
approved,
yeah.
so it's-
What would that communication look like? Text, email, call, any of the above?
As long as it doesn't violate Open Meetings Act.
Yeah, if you're just putting something on agenda, it's not. I mean, you can send the whole group. That's, an email saying, I want this on the agenda but he's getting it, so. Then he would let me know that's gonna be.
Do multiple council members need to want something on?
No, apparently, not. No, I read it somewhere, but can't find it still.
Calling it
I stopped
special-
looking.
I think it's a special meeting, the council members need to do that.
Special meeting, if you're
agendas.
calling a special meeting, you have to have two.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different.
And I mean, if you guys don't want to change it. I'm just trying to. Clean line up in this possible.
right, but what is it now? Just we
Free fall.
email,
Willy-nilly.
well, we email Kim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it doesn't happen very often where people just off the road want to put something on the agenda, and I would, at this point, if it happened now, I would contact all of you. Now, if it's before this, I would have been like, hey, this person wants to put this on the agenda, is that okay? If it's not coming from a committee.
I feel like that's fairly standard operating procedure.
I think
That have whoever wants the meeting, which would be the mayor, and set the agenda.
Or the committee head, it doesn't, just a committee.
Yeah.
What do you need from us?
I make a motion to run things by Greg to be on the. And by the mayor.
Just the mayor's office. Not right. Because whoever's the mayor is the mayor. If I'm not here, it goes through you. We need a second on that motion.
That really one-off situation.
They probably won't. If we want to second that or. I'll second that. So a motion to change that is on the floor, second, all in favor, say aye. Oh, sorry, we have still discussion.
I still have a discussion. Okay, because I like it cut and dry. Are we texting? Are we emailing? Are we emailing just you? Are we doing everyone? I,
Just another thing that you just said that and brought up in my head, I need to know how everybody wants to be contacted. Does everybody want their packets by email, with the link to the website? Or do they want the paper, the actual file sent to them like I do now? And right now, our texting thing isn't working, so I am texting you off my personal phone. So I have all your names in there, so you don't have to say who it is, but I already know who you are. So,
Probably a couple of that. Signing my name.
well, before we didn't know, it was
Right.
kind of, we had to memorize your numbers, so, that's, I just need to know that if the way like this meeting, was that how everybody wants to be informed on what the packet is, how they get the packet.
I like
how
getting
they
the
get-
packet via email, but I guess I don't care if it's a link or a download. Either way,
Okay.
it's coming to me and right now.
Yeah.
Click the
sometimes
button and
I
open.
do I mean, I always give you the link, but sometimes I'll throw in the website.
do you need notification that we're coming, or that just
Yeah.
we're not coming?
That,
That we're coming or that we're not coming?
I usually ask if you're making the meeting, and then everybody tells me yes, because I do need a yes from everyone, so we make sure we have them. Because sometimes people don't answer.
Sorry.
So yeah, a yes or no, I mean, either way, but yeah, not just the no. I need a, yeah.
Back to
Those
the question on
text,
Yeah,
Craig.
to the agenda, I like email. Email's fine. Because then I have an easy way to track what I've done. I mean, I have it here, but,
I too prefer that.
Email sign.
so are we emailing just the mayor, or are we emailing as a whole
For agenda item,
agenda items?
I don't think it matters either way, as long as he's getting.
Send those-
Whatever your
the-
preference is,
I
right? If
mean,
you
send
yeah.
those, I mean, everybody can get it that way, everybody can see
Okay.
that it might be on the agenda and I can, can I respond to that? That's not a discussion though.
Well, you can respond by saying, I'll let him know.
Okay, or yes,
Forward
put
it
it on
to
the
me.
agenda. I don't want to violate the open meeting act. I'm trying to read more on that and kind of be specific.
As long as you're not, the only thing you can't do is discuss.
Yes,
So we can go into detail that I want library board on to discuss the building,
more information would be better, I think,
more or less?
more. That way we have, this is what they're here for.
The actual wording that you want on it for the agenda, so, I mean, you don't want it too long where it's like, take up 3 lines, but it's what more important is what you have attached, right?
And that's not breaking open.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's when you discuss back and forth is when that is in violation of the Open Meeting Act, because that should be public information and email is not public. So, or texting, if you guys, if people text back and forth or,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get a discussion about it. going
that's
on.
where we would say no discussion. But this is gonna be on the agenda. We will discuss it at the meeting in the meeting. So, yeah, just that's what we watch out.
So you're requesting that we email or text everyone if we're requesting something beyond this.
I think it's better for everybody to see what's being asked to put on the agenda. That way it's not something dark in the shadows and you think, I'm just like doing whatever.
And someone could add to it, like if Jody wanted to put something on the agenda about the library proposal project. And then maybe Tim said, that's great. In addition to that point, also, we would like to see specific financial numbers in regards to this. That way you're adding to it and you're getting a complete thorough point on.
Yeah, and I
the
mean, you
minutes.
want to add the
Yeah.
attachments on there so that people, you guys can all see what's. I mean, it's just kind of a heads up.
Right. And that's why I would prefer an email over a text.
Oh, for that,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, because some of it gets too long. Nobody likes.
And we know how much we love our phones with all text, because most of us get a lot of that. But it's just.
Yeah, the only thing I will text you is about the meeting.
We all come with that.
And, also I want to reiterate that, anything that comes on the agenda and you have questions about, or questions after a meeting, that's what we're here for. Like, call us, stop in the office, ask us questions. If we don't know, we'll find out for you. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's our jobs. So there should never be a time where you don't feel like you can call and ask us a question. If you have more questions about the boat launch, if you have questions, anything, we'll find out for you. That's what that's what.
Is everybody okay with it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, anything else? Right, so no other items?
It's usually when we keep the lights on, but now we have no time.
Yeah. We'll go on through
Throws
the-
off a little bit.
I was waiting for you to say it.
I know, I was waiting for somebody to
You
say it
did.
too.
So we'll need a motion to adjourn,
Next.
please. Make a motion. Second. Any discussion on adjourning? Okay, meeting is adjourned, thank you.
I think, when I saw it come up, I'm like, well, maybe that's something else. It's later on in the packet or something.
It's gotta be on the back of this page.
Sorry, Marcy.
The legacy dies.
We'll bring it back next.
There you go. Gotta bring it back.
Okay, sir.
Oh, my dear Lord. Yeah.
Well, but you're not gonna know.
You can't make me.
You're not gonna know the.